You know, it's interesting. There was a series out that's fallen into disfavor now, and it involved two guys driving a car called the General. And of course, that was a sort of a redneckish sort of country show, and I'm sure you know the name. And those boys shot bows and arrows because they were convicted felons and they weren't allowed to have guns. So that's the only weapon I'm aware of that a convicted felon can have. Probably have a slingshot. But convicted felons, unless their rights have been restored, are prohibited persons under the law for possession of a firearm, and it adds years to a criminal sentence. In addition to which, if you're found with ammunition, that is a separate charge, which is particularly bad for juveniles. Because I will simply tell you that as a juvenile, if I were to see a bullet laying on the ground, I would always pick it up. It's shiny, it's cool, I can show it to my buds, say, hey, look what I found, sort of thing. When you're 13, 14 years old, 15 years old. But if you have a prior weapons charge, if you are a juvenile and you have a prior weapons charge, that firearm, that bullet, that undischarged bullet, can end up in a 3-year prison sentence, minimum mandatory. And that's why, again, minimum mandatories are bad, because they don't allow the court to weigh in on who should spend time in custody and how long, which is the whole purpose of having a judge. But with minimum mandatories, the court is required to sentence them to minimum mandatory periods of time, even though the particular suspect or guilty person shouldn't be subject to that much time in custody. Minimum mandatories are a bad idea and always have been. They shift the power from the court to the prosecutor, because if the prosecutor charges something different, then the minimum mandatory doesn't apply. And the prosecutor should never have the power that they've been given by the legislator to determine what the charge should be connected with a minimum mandatory sentence.